on what is investment requirements and so on, too, because this is the one that includes all the major investments you're going to do for the next 9 years. And it's triennial, it's called triennial because it's done every 3 years. So you know, this one is ultimately more thorough than any of the other two. So I guess another thing I need to say, I'm happy to report that after all these years, we have two staff. It took us about 8 years to get one staff, not 8, about 5 years to get one staff. Now we have two within less than 6 months of each other. So we have an executive director and administrative assistant. We still don't have a receptionist typist. But we have office space. But one thing that concerns me about the office space, it's a wonderful office, nice office, you go there. But you know what? Four flights of steps, an old granny mightn't be able to climb up there. And you know, I mean, come on. I'm a people's man. I mean, if granny can come up, somebody will have to sit down at the bottom of the steps and say, Granny, what's your problem? You know? And we'll have to find a way around that because a lot of the people with the complaints are not necessarily young and energetic people. So I don't know how I fill in my PowerPoint. I don't know how it goes on with you.
I am sure you don't have any questions.
No, I have.
You have a question?
Yes.
I thought Suku was delaying your lunch.
I have some issues, concerns.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. They have two concerns, and the same question that has been asked millions of years. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? With the case of Wasco, whether this service, level of service is going to come after the increase or the increase will be given.
The level of service, you're talking about the standard. We don't have regulations for that yet. That isn't thing. We couldn't hold up the thing. The tariff, the review of the tariff, and this thing we will do it in conjunction with the tariff increase. We don't have to wait for a tariff increase. We'll have to do it and get some form of I wanted to use the word hope, but I would rather say that commitment from Wasco, and I think they're committed because they realize that if that one backfires and we reach a stage that people not satisfied with even incremental improvements in the quality of service, that we're in big trouble. As for me, I already tell them I'm not selling a tariff. I just go in according to the information they give me, us, and doing the tariff review as best as we can.
Yeah,
but
but
Wasco would have trouble, and we, right now, Clinton could probably update me better. I think they were supposed to have completed that this month, and by the end of this month, because we want to be reasonable. That we cannot set standards of work on Wasco that obviously they cannot keep. No? So we have to be reasonable. Okay? And this is where we are. The discussion is on, and we'll assure the consuming public that, ensure that Wasco will step up the quality of service standards.
Yeah, but isn't that extraordinarily increased to deal with restoration as opposed to improvement? Because we're talking about Hurricane Thomas, I thought was to restore services that were affected. Am I not right? Isn't that what it is about?
That's the main thing.
No.
It's not about the. That's my understanding about the extra.
It's not only so massive a drop because the one had an adjustment in what, 50 years. So there are extra that took place.
And the economic situation, the economic circumstance also. So I mean,
you don't expect major improvements on that.
No, but still there must be a mere modicum of at least, because there are a lot of communities that are not even baseline yet. So you need to get them up to baseline. You need to do fundamental things. That's that's not necessarily, quality of standard thing is not necessarily arising out of a tariff increase. It's just something you have to do for your own self too, because take an example of non-revenue water, and the one that most people are familiar with is leak, overflowing tanks and leaking pipes and so on. Okay? Obviously, Wasco must realize they must deal with that issue with more alacrity. You understand? Wasco realizes that. All that is tied up to quality of standard. How they respond in their own business interest so that, you know, they could carry the tariff increase they are granted much further than just saying, well, that's what we get extra. We ourselves not going to do, go home cleaning, you know, to ensure that we optimize. So we are hoping that that little extra funds they have would give them a window to even do these other things like, you know, reduce non-revenue water, respond to customers better, have a better metering system, and you know, so on.
Yeah.
The other concern I have.
And don't ask me questions, you have the answers for you.
I
know you as a man who used to answer my questions. Right.
The other question I have, concern, not question, I have is when technocrats, okay, without going into specifics, you are advised not to go down a particular route. And you made mention of, not you, but advise against certain.
Who is advised?
I just didn't want to be specific, but the water company, for instance, and you deliberately.
Who you? I'm not getting. Come on, try and be more succinct.
I'm trying not to be specific.
Yeah, but I
okay, the
don't
water
understand
company
what
was
you're saying.
advised on undertaking certain expenditures, millions of dollars. They chose to do it when consultants advised on certain issues, and they went ahead and spent the millions. And
which consultants you talking about? Who consultants? What? I don't know about consultants. What consultants run in the country? I don't know. Ask a better question. I don't understand the question. You was thinking, how could I understand consultants and Wasco?
I have another question as a concern I have.
Yeah, well, come, let me understand what you're saying.
Suku, let me get this essence of what you're saying.
With regards to the spend, the tariff increase, that's tied to the tariff increase.
What was that?
Yeah, but let me
answer the question.
There's a question.
If you were given a tariff increase and you continue spending the money in the wrong way, how do you? That's what I was getting. You don't want.
Well, just say that.
Huh?
Just say that. Just say that. That's
but
a simple question.
That's before the fact or after?
Huh?
Or during the whole process?
Yeah, but I don't know what is the wrong way.
Yeah, that's exactly the spending of projects that were not necessary, and you could see the projects are now not doing what they're supposed to do.
Okay, let me answer that quickly. Tariff increase. Tariff is not a basic element of a tariff increase is that you're dealing with efficient costs. So if the regulator perceives that you're spending money on stupidity, on foolish things, you can't put that there and that would. You understand? Yeah, that's how what a good regulator does.
All right.
Efficient costs. Efficient costs, that's the bad word. Not just costs.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know who getting away with that? Lucy Leg. Because they have guaranteed rate of return. So the general manager could put a big photograph at the back of his office and read the consumers paying for that. They could give computers and come on air and say, we are generous corporate citizens, we're giving the school children computers. And you know what? They're slipping in that in their tariff thing because they have the guarantee thing. But if they were subject to regulation, a good regulator would pick that up, but what does that mean? Computers you give the school, you have to do that from your bottom line, from your profits. You don't do that as part of your cost and then factor it in the tariff. That's what Lucilec does. So we have to move on Lucilec.
Thank you.